Hello, everyone, and welcome back to new number ones for the week of May the 13th. My name is Corey, and you're here with me now. And the number one for the week is Showdown from Ignition Press, written by Dave Wielgosz and art by Tadd Galusha. Uh, this was a very interesting week. I felt like there was a lot of competition for a new number one. Dark Horse put out a really fun, lighthearted comic about a bunch of senior citizens from Hollywood who discover a giant kaiju baby. And by all intents and purposes, that would be like the easy pick. But Showdown is a book that is so interesting to me in that I don't know. It felt like the weirdest pulpy slice of life comic you can make because there's no supernatural element, there's no horror here. It is quite simply a book about revenge and family. So, real quick, when we talk about new number ones, we always talk about is the premise, is the world established? Is the main characters established? And is there enough meat on the bone to kind of keep you interested? The answer to all of those questions is yes in this book. Showdown starts with the main characters, Trish and Harvey, in the midst of a fight. And not just like an argument, but like a a fight to the death. Because that's the premise of the book. Trish is coming back to her small hometown after being away to college for the simple purpose of getting revenge on Harvey, who she has blamed for the death of her younger brother, Michael. Harvey, however, while it's pretty implied that he was not guilty of, he's not innocent necessarily, it definitely was his fault. Meanwhile, though, Harvey's not exactly the most unsympathetic character as well because he's a character who is very directionless at this point in his life. He went away to college on a football scholarship and got injured, and therefore his career is over in that regard. And then he comes back, and his father, who is the town sheriff, dies unexpectedly. So now Harvey is sort of in this small town where everybody knows him and everybody hates him because Michael, the Trisha's little brother, was a also beloved local high school, athlete. Uh, he feels he is simply unwanted everywhere that he goes, to the point that I think there's a scene where he comes home after being out and having the initial confrontation with Trisha, where they make the challenge that basically we're going to fight to the death. Um, he's at first really hesitant and reluctant to accept it until he gets home and sees all of the angry protest signs people have left in his front yard, basically calling him a child killer. And at that point, it seems like he realizes that he has nothing left to live for and agrees to this fight to the death. Trisha is a very interesting character in her own right as well because she's someone who's full of a lot of anger. Whether or not that's justified is kind of irrelevant when you're just discussing like living your day-to-day life with that much aggression living inside of your heart has to have its negative impacts on you, and we don't really know that yet. So Harvey and Trisha are very well established. You in the 20 some pages of this first issue, you get to know enough about them to see their point of view and see why they're doing the things that they're doing. Phenomenal stuff. The actual setting itself, this small town, as someone who grew up in a small town, I can tell you there's a real energy there of when you're on the outs, people don't have a hard time letting you know that you're on the outs. And, like both characters run into old friends who it's awkward because you've changed to different. It's what I'm getting at is that the setting itself is also pretty well established. And by starting off the book with a sort of flash forward to the beginning stages of the fight between Trisha and Harvey, and you see the links that Harvey's willing to go to, that is enough there to kind of keep me invested in what's going to happen with this story. So Ignition Press, once again, doing a really phenomenal job of putting out some unique stuff that is really well drawn and well written. Just A plus all around. A plus all around on Showdown. So I would definitely recommend that you pick that up. As for the show itself, the Smart Avengers and what we do, our X-Men ranking episode just came out, which is always fun. It's always great to rile Dylan up when it comes to Exodus and his love of the character and sort of the general population not knowing who that is. But no, aside from that, we've got a couple of kind of fun episodes coming down the pipeline. We have another Avengers auction. We do our kind of a deep dive ish on Watchmen the week after that. So definitely stay tuned to that. We're gonna try to get a couple of episodes recorded in batches. That way we can we always like having a buffer leading into the summer. Because when John doesn't go watch a bunch of movies, he also goes to a lot of music festivals. So having a bit of a buffer is great for us. We don't have to worry about potentially missing a week for not having an episode up. Regardless, that's how the hot dogs are made, so to speak. So I'm gonna go and let you guys get out of here. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your time and check out Ignition Press's Showdown when you have the opportunity to. Bye.